Hello, my name is Khira Mistry, and I am an Indian American. Growing up with the strong influence of my culture at home compared to the standard American life around me was difficult. There was this expectation for me to hold my roots while still conforming to the idea of an American family. It was especially difficult when I was growing up in Wisconsin, as I continued to face this cultural barrier, especially between my friends and I. I always felt like there was a part of me that they just didn't understand or couldn't relate to. And as a result, I felt like that part of me couldn't speak up, and it was repressed. Ultimately, I led two different lives. The life where I'd go home to eat Indian food while listening to Bollywood music, and the other life where I'd go to school eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich while discussing the latest Hannah Montana episode with my friends. And I continued to live in these two worlds for a long time. However, I could say the turning point in my life was when I moved to Southern California. I was about 7 years old at the time and was exposed to a completely new lifestyle, which I was hidden from in Wisconsin. I finally met over half of my mom's family, which in Indian terms is at least over 100 people. But I also met people who looked like me, people who shared the same values as me, and they weren't my family. These people encouraged me to talk about my culture and express it, and I finally felt like that part of me that couldn't be heard was now able to speak out, and my words were embraced instead of pushed away. After this, I realized I didn't want to continue living in two worlds. I wanted to combine the two. I remember this story my dad used to tell me. He said growing up, he was often pressured not to stick out and just fit in with the social norm. As a result, he led these two different lives for a long time and never had the encouragement to integrate the two. He had to figure out on his own how to combine his American life with his Indian life. After this story, I realized there is no difference between my two cultures. It was merely a line I created in my head, something I believed I needed to follow, when in reality, I could exist in both worlds. Being Indian and being American are two huge aspects of my life. And with that, I have the opportunity. No, I have the power to choose which aspects of each culture I want to represent myself. I can extend the parts I wish to progress in so that overall, me as an individual is represented by my values. In my Indian culture, there was so much that I loved. I loved Bollywood music, which ultimately led me to Bollywood dance, a passion I continue to hold close to my heart. However, there were aspects of my American culture which I also agreed with. The old-timey values of the Indian culture which oppress women is something I want to progress from. Viewing a woman as someone with rights and power is an idea that needs to be spread globally, and I will take it upon myself to spread those ideas. Now, I don't wish to offend those who want to embrace culture, nor those who want to get rid of culture. However, this here is a defining moment for me, because you are all witness to the marriage between my two selves. I realize that I am an extremely lucky person because I have not one, but two cultures to represent me as a person. I am simply a modern American. So I can stand up and tell you all here today, I am not just an Indian. I am not just an American. My name is Khira Mistry, and I am an Indian American.
Bollywood dance is an extremely important aspect of my life. Growing up, I never took dance lessons, yet I continued to find myself dancing around the house to some random tune in my head. When I was about 8 years old, I performed my first dance routine at my uncle's wedding. I realized it wasn't the same thing every girl at school would do. It made me unique. Growing up, my sister and I continued to perform at all of my family's weddings and at the annual Indian New Year culture show. And people began to anticipate our performances at upcoming events. When I came to high school, I joined the Thal Indian Dance Club. In this club, I realized I could share my passion, Since many students join the club with no experience, I was able to guide them on their path to learning about this incredible art. Now I am president of the club and continue to perform and teach Bollywood dance to students. When I perform on stage, it is always a new experience, and I make sure to put my soul into what I am doing. So in the end, I can bow, knowing I shared my love for Bollywood dance with others.